Hey, what's up grinders? I am Zard and today we're going to take a closer look at that new legendary troop Geryon, who can be found from event chest for this week. This troop is so-called double converter. We have got plenty of troops that function in a similar way in the past. You know, convert A to B and then C to skulls. This Geryon converts green gems to blue and then converts purple gems to skulls. And then also drains 2 mana from all enemies, and that's pretty nice, to be honest. It can be very useful in some circumstances. I suppose because of the mana drain, the quite high mana cost of the 20 is justified. First rate is meh, and second is okayish, but boy, it can backfire in nasty ways. More about that later. And the third trait is pretty nice, to be fair. Stun is always great to have around. So, I'm staring at this troop and I can't help but think of the days when we were happy to enter a match with couple skull converters and just play the game the way it was meant to be played, without game destroyers or double empowered converters and so on. I think we're gonna embrace that nostalgia here today and test out some skull teams featuring this new troop, Geryon. At this point I get the usual begging out of the way. Please subscribe if you haven't already and poke that like button as well. Thanks, I appreciate it. So here is the base of the team, and we are going to keep this untouched. We're just going to swap the fourth still missing troop and test how Geryon pairs with different double converters. We are going to use Wand of Stars as our mana generator, and guess what? At this point I don't even apologize using this weapon. We can now just agree that this weapon is awesome, and you know, I'm just going to use it in the next 100 episodes. Okay? All good? Alright. Yeah. So maybe you noticed, but the base is all brown, so I narrowed the troop pool to brown troops only for this video. And what I found is that even though there are plenty of brown skull converters, not many of them pair very well with this Geryon. But we managed to find a few that have great synergy and don't stall the looping process. Now, if we quickly look at this Geryon spell, we see that he converts green gems to blue, and at this point, even though those converted blue gems feed our weapon, it is pretty good idea to find either a blue color troop or a troop that benefits from those blue gems in some way. And this is where our first candidate jumps into play. Welcome, Mr. Torbern. Beastmaster Torbern converts blue gems to red and brown gems to skulls, and then hunters mark the first 2 enemies. Now, let me say that the hunters mark was awesome, and this combo worked very well in the test round until Torbern vanished. Poof, just like that. And there was a kitty cat instead. Yeah, I didn't read the fine print. There's 25% chance to transform into a werewolf beast. Brilliant. So, ditch that. Mr. Torbern, you can jog off and take your beast with you. So, candidate number 2, King Bloodhammer. Bloodhammer deals magic +4 damage to the 2 strongest enemies and then converts blue gems to doom skulls. Okay, so all transforming, what is going to happen is just gems, and no troop is going to transform into birds and bears and kitty cats. We could work with that, yeah. But about these traits, as Geryon summons Doomstorm at the start of the battle, and Bloodhammer summons a Doomstorm when an enemy is killed, that basically means we will have Doomstorm running almost all the time. Now that is pretty nice as long as you get your troops up. And even though this wand is a great mana generator, the weapon does miss from time to time, and my word, you're gonna get absolutely pummeled with skulls when that happens. And this is why we are running Sentinel. I tested this with root trap classes, but I wasn't satisfied enough because once the enemy gets rid of the entangle, you are vulnerable to skull death. So I tried this with Sentinel. Sentinel is very tanky class, and it has pretty good talents to pick up. This second trait almost halves the skull damage what enemy causes to you. And you know, this third trait is pretty good as well. We have Impact, Vanguard, Razor Armor. This makes our skull pokes to do more damage. Rock Solid, this is important. Stone Mastery and Fortitude. So, just in case the poop hits the fan at the start of the fight, that's why we are using Sentinel. And as our Kickstarter, we are using Leprechaun. What? Well, look at that. Soothsayer. Did we talk something about all brown colored troops? Yeah, so no Leprechaun for me then. This is pretty interesting troop. He has Empowered, so starts with full mana and has that Stone Link, which pairs very well with the Sentinel Stone Mastery. And this spellcast is pretty wicked. You pick a purple gem and the spell destroys the row and the column where that chosen purple gem is located. In theory you could get an extra turn with this Soothsayer cast if you got lucky and would have 2 matching gems above and below of the row that you destroy. I'll try to demonstrate this if I spot those. But if we don't have an extra turn on the board, then what we can do is to find a purple gem that doesn't have any skulls on the rows and columns that we destroy. This ensures that our wand is going to get up because of the amount of gems that the spell destroys. You know, Soothsayer, it's not ideal, but as I said, I wanted to keep this as a full brown team. And you can just always swap Soothsayer to Leprechaun if you like it that way. But now, my friend, we are going to hop on the first battle with this team. I'm using double season medals and an Anu medal. Excuse me. Here we would have extra turn, but we don't have a purple gem on this row here, so we can't take that, but we are going to take this and this, and look at that, our wand is up already. Cost our wand and feed our troops with mana. Do we have skull alignment? We have here purple to skulls, Geryon cost. Let's do that. Then we cast our weapon. No, we take that. And there is our Bloodhammer alignment. We do that. There is another Geryon alignment, purple to skulls. And that's a match. Just like that. Let's take another one with this team. Do we have... Well, we have actually plenty of extra turns over here. And our wand is full already. We don't even have to cast our Soothsayer, it seems. There is first Geryon cost, purple to skulls. That's let's take that first. And then that. Do we have Bloodhammer alignment? We don't, so this is a good time to cast our weapon, but I'm not sure which option should I pick. Let's gamble with the first one. Oh yeah, we got it nicely. There is Bloodhammer alignment. Do we have green to blue or purple to skulls? Nope. So time to cast the weapon. How about now? There is purple alignment with Geryon. And there is Bloodhammer alignment. Yes. Let's take that. Time to cast the weapon. Okay, now we're gonna get pummeled with the skulls, but because of this third trait, we didn't take too much damage. Is that enough? No, it isn't. We cast our weapon, and now it is enough. Yes. There, that kind of thing. I have another troop that fits pretty well in here. I tried this with, with Beastmaster, Torbern, and Wrath and Evendra, but I have to say Bloodhammer ran the best with this Geryon setup. But let's try one more troop here. Bloodhammer can carry on. See what I did there? Okay, yeah. Here is Onyx Giant. This troop deals, what was it? About magic times 2 plus 10 a big amount of scatter damage. Is that something like 20 or something like that? And then converts 8 gems of a chosen color to Uber Doom Skulls. So you can choose what color you are going to convert to Uber Doom Skulls. But you have to keep in mind that you can convert only 8 gems. So what we really want to do is to have 8 or less of the colors that we are going to convert to Uber Doom Skulls, and that those colors we pick also align with other skulls so that we get extra turn. If we don't get extra turn, that's not super big deal, because those Uber Doom Skulls usually generate mana and can also generate extra turn too with the cascades. But obviously we want a guaranteed extra turn if we can find one. Same base, but just swapped Bloodhammer to Onyx Giant. Let's try this team in practice. Excuse me. Do we have now extra turn with Soothsayer? We don't, but we have this. How about now? Nope. We could find. Can we? No, we can't. Here. This purple gem here ensures that our wand is up, but actually, as we have already mana here, we can just take whatever, and I'm actually going to take this one so that we don't get those skull pokes. Yeah, take that. Right? And now we can maybe, let's see, purple or yellow or red is fine if they align. Purple does not, yellow does not, and red does not. So I'm going to take this extra turn here and see what happens. Purple aligns now perfectly. We have 9 purple gems, so we are basically guaranteed an extra turn over here. So let's cast our Onyx Giant on purple gems. There. Now red or yellow or purple would be nice. Yellow is here great. Let's take that. Guaranteed extra turn. We can take this. What then? Green or red would be nice. Green does align over here. This is a 5 gem match, so let's pick green. Yeah. Searching. Here is actually a Geryon extra turn with the green to blue conversion, so we could do that and do a skull poke over here. Cast Geryon. Onyx giant could be good with blue or green gems. Blue align over here. We do that. Blue and done. This is slow as hell, I admit that, but you know, it loops very well too. Let's try this team in the mythic boss fight against Flame of Anim and that cute sand cat. Very cute. My heart melts. Here is the extra turn. What a brilliant alignment over here. If we cast our Soothsayer over this purple gem here, ta-da, we get our wand up with an extra turn. How nice is that, man? Generate mana to your troops. Now we have our troops up. Do we have purple alignment? No. Do we have green to blue? No. Do we have blue to skulls? No. Green to skulls? No. Then our best choice would be yellow or purple gems, but none actually align. So what we are going to do, we are going to shuffle the board with our weapon. How about now? Blue? No. Green? Yes. And green is a guaranteed extra turn. 8 green gems will be converted to Uber Doom Skulls, and that's an extra turn there. Right. There is a Geryon alignment, we do that. There would be another one. And we are... Give me a second. Searching. No, this would be an extra... Oh, but I can take it that way. Yep. How about now? 7 greens. No. Reds. No. Purples. No. 7 yellows. We are going to shuffle the board. Geryon alignment is there. And I'm going to combo now. Actually, that is a guaranteed extra turn over there. Cast Onyx Giant on red gems. Yep, and done. There. It's a tricky build, but this is how would I say it? Pretty educational in a way. Let's see what we get. And we get trash, like we always do. Absolute trash. Hey buddy, mate, hope you have a great day. I hope this video would help you with Geryon and the team builds. And let me know what kind of setup you're using Geryon in the comments below. Please subscribe and like that video. That's all by now. Peace.